begin to recite the Heart Sutra. Perception, impulses, and consciousness. spoken by the Awakened One. So, good evening, my dear Shaker. Today is September 19, 2018. Welcome for tonight. Meditation and Dharma talks. Everyone have a wonderful week so far. Enjoy the cool weather. Back to fall. So tonight we talk about section 19. That means contemplating both the false and the truth. So here he talks about the false means unreal, the truth the real thing. So the definition false here means impermanent. It's always changing. Nothing is real, right? So here this chapter he talks about we have to contemplate on impermanence. So Marcus, can you read section 19 for us?
Sure. Contemplating both the false and the true. The Buddha said, contemplate heaven and earth and be mindful of their impermanence. Contemplate the world and be mindful of its impermanence. Contemplate the efficacious, enlightened nature. It is the Bodhi nature. With this awareness, one quickly attains the way.
Okay, so this practice is we have to contemplate what is the real and the unreal. So the awakened one, he said that we look deeply to heaven and to the earth, and then we see that even thought heaven and earth are impermanent, it's always changing. So this section he talk about how can we find out the impermanent of everything, right? Everything is changing non-stop. So three things we must look deeply this phenomenon, everything. The second is our body, and third is our mind. So the first thing, phenomena of everything, right? The worlds, the galaxies, the universe. So when you look deeply, everything is changing. Nothing stays stable, right? Look at your house, the environment, the weather, right? It's always changing. So in 1 year, we have 4 seasons, right? Spring, summer, autumn, and winter, right? So every year is the same thing. It's changing. So when we look at the season changing, the weather is changing, right? Right now, when we look deeply to this, the earth is impermanent. Nothing stays forever, right? So your house, your car, your husband, your wife, your children is also what? It's impermanent. So here he wants us to, if you are able to contemplate the world, your body, your mind, impermanent, then you have to find out the things that is not permanent, right? So when we look at the world, the galaxy, the universe, every atom, every nucleon, proton, every galaxy is like changing, right? It's impermanent. And then there's one thing that's not changing is what? Yeah, the impermanent is not changing. Also the space. Everything is changing, but the space is not changing, right? Did you see space change? So he wants us to see the impermanent and the permanent. And we have to realize the permanent is true. And the impermanence is false. So here he wants us to contemplate the universe. Something is real and something is unreal. So most of us, we live in the world, live with the false, the unreal. right? Every years, every month we have new phone, right? New phone coming out. So that is impermanent or permanent? It's impermanent. It's changing, right? We don't like to stay the old fashion. We always want to what? New stuff. That's why companies is very smart, right? They always build something new for you. Because your mind chasing the new stuff. Something old, you don't like it. But actually the basic is they're the same, right? The operation is the same. You use for emergency, use for daily activity. So here he talk about we have to contemplate the heavens is impermanent too. Even if you go to heaven, that's impermanent. You cannot stay up here forever, right? And the earth, you cannot stay here forever too. So he said we have to be mindful that everything is impermanent. So once you're able to contemplate everything impermanent, you will know the way, the path, right? So contemplate the worlds to be impermanent, phenomenal, everything is changing. The tree, the plant, the flowers, the grass, you can see and observe things around you changing all the time. So once you're able to have an ideas and understand, and then you have to realize, right? If you see things changing but you don't realize, doesn't mean you are not awakened, right? So first he wants us to contemplate things, phenomena, impermanent. The second, we have to look deeply to our body. Is our body is impermanent or permanent? Yes. Our body is not stable. Remember when you are 5-year-old, 10-year-old, 20-year-old, look back at your photo. See how your face look like. Like if you have the album from the childhood to right now to the present, you see yourself changing, right? All the time. So this body changing right now, there's millions of cells dying, millions of cells burning, right? Our liver, our lung, our kidney, and everything is changing. Our blood. Also breathing. When you breathe, it is impermanent, right? Without this impermanent, you cannot live, right? You'll be solid. So without impermanent, there's no life, right? So everything changing, our body changing. Imagine your body stop changing, then what? You die, right? You cannot take air in. Your blood does not flow. Circulation. So your blood circulation is changing. Thank goodness our system circulation. Otherwise you probably gone, right? So one, you have to contemplate on this body, from the fingernails to your face, to your hair, to your cell, your body, liver, kidney, everything, all your organs inside of your body changing. Right? So when you realize your body changing, then you know it's not true, right? This body is not real because it's impermanent. This body composed earth, water, fire, air, the 4 elements. When you stop breathing, earth go back to earth. You can use your body for fertilizer, right? It's like in old day when the monks and nuns pass away, they donate this body to birds, to cow, vulture, food for them to eat. Right? They can put in the cremate and put under the tree for ash, for fertilizer. So when you look deeply, this body is earth, go back to water, back to earth, water, all the water inside go back to water. All the air inside go back to air. Right? So when we look deeply, this body is impermanent. So that body is not real. Right? You just use temporary. Some people use 10, 30, 40, 50, 100 years. Maximum is at least 100 years, right? Sooner or later you have to let go of this body. So one of the Zen master said that our body is like a house, a vehicle which is borrowed for a certain time. So when your time is up, you don't have enough money to pay your rent, you have to what? You have to move out. Right? So our body is the same thing, which is borrowed. Maximum 70 or 80 or 90 years. Some people just borrow in 10 years, 14 years. Some people just borrow only 1 or 2 months. Right? Baby born, they die right away. So when we look deeply, this body is impermanent. So inside this body, there's something is permanent. Right? We have to find out something that's in here is permanent. Right? The next one, the third thing we have to look about our mind. Is our mind changing all the time? Yes. Our thinking mind is changing, impermanent. That's why we say you always change your mind. We always change our mind, right? So he talked about the thinking mind. Here's the thinking mind. But the true mind is never change. It's true permanent. The awakened nature is never change. So we have three things: phenomena changing, our body changing, and our thinking mind changing, right? And when we look back to our body, inside our body, what is not changing? What element is not changing? It's the space. Inside ourselves we have space, right? That space never change. The space inside, the space outside, the same or not? They are the same. They are oneness. Without space, you cannot breathe, right? Without space, the blood circulation will not go through, right? So inside our body, we have space too, right? Those space is permanent. Just like the space out here, right? It's never changed. And then when we look back into our mind, our thinking mind, the thinking mind is always changing. But the seeing, the knower of the thinking mind is not changing. Let me give you an example. The kings, one of the kings met the Buddha. He talked about changing, impermanent. And the Buddha gave example. Is this a body changing? And the king said yes. And the Buddha asked, how do you know your body changing? He said that when he's 3 years old, 7 years old, 10 years old, 20, 30, 40, 50, right now he's 62. He's changing, right? And then his body is wrinkled. His hair, when he's 20, is like all black. Now he in 62 is all what? White. And his face, when he's 20, is very straight. He's 62 is all what? Wrinkled. So the king realized that his body changing. And the Buddha asked, even though your body changing, there's something inside of you not changing. He asked, when is your first time you see the river, Ganges River? And he said, when I'm at 3, when my mom took me to pray one of the demon, the angel, I see the Ganges River. When I saw at 3. And the Buddha said, when's your last time seeing the Ganges River? Just yesterday. And then he said, your seeing nature is changing. When you're 3 and now you are 62, is it changing? And he said, no. His body changing, but his seeing nature, his hearing nature is never changed. Do you understand that? So your nature has never changed, but it's just your body, right? But if you use your thinking mind to see it, it's changing. Because when you are 3, you see different. But you are 62, you see different. Because you see at 3, you are just a baby. But you 62, you have a lot of knowledge. You see differently. But your seeing nature is the same. Do you understand that? Very simple, right? So our hearing nature, seeing nature is never changed. That's what we call true permanent. So that's why we say inside ourselves we have awakened nature. That awakened nature, nothing can destroy it. Even thought impermanent cannot destroy it. Everything destroyed by impermanent. But this awakened nature is never destroyed by anything because it's formless. Something formless cannot destroy. Everything formed, what? It's changing. So everything you see formed is impermanent. Everything is formless is permanent. Just like the last time we talked about two love, the attachment love and the unattachment love, the conditional love, the unconditional. So the unconditional love is never impermanent, but the condition love can be changed, right? Depend on situation. So we have to go back to the unconditional love, right? That conditional is your unconditional is your awakened nature. The love will never change. The compassion, the love and kindness will never change. That's why Buddha used that love, unconditional love. That's why he sees his enemy as his friend. Right? But for us, we are different. We use conditional love. Right? People we like to hang around. People we don't like, we can stay away. We still have what? Discrimination, right? But the Bodhisattva is different. So here, go back to the term impermanent, that everything is changing, the phenomena, the body, the thinking mind changing. But your seeing nature, your hearing nature, your knowing nature is never change, right? So he wants us to realize that inside ourselves there's something impermanent, something is not permanent. Something is always permanent. So that's why he calls the body nature. It's called body. Body means awakening. It is the body nature. If you are aware of it, you will quickly attain enlightenment. So you only use one method to contemplate is contemplate on impermanent. Then you will know the way. You get enlightenment. You don't have to change method to method. Just use one method of impermanent. You see that? So one of the Sutra say that this is the story about this four hermits. So these four hermits, they practice state of their enlightenment. They're able to fly, they're able to walk in the moon, they're able to walk in the water, they're able to walk in the fire. They can disappear. But one day the angel appeared out and said that you guys have 4 more days to live, 7 more days to live. Even though they have superior power, able to walk on earth, walk on fire, flying, and this angel said, you have 7 more days to live. And the first hermit said, okay, if I have 7 more days to live, I will try to hide. We try to hide somewhere that impermanent cannot catch us. So one of the hermits, he said, I will go down to the deepest bottom of the ocean, I will hide there. And the impermanent will not find me. And then the second one said, okay, I will hide in space. Because I will hide in space, the impermanent will not find me. And the third one say, I will hide the highest, the strongest mountain. I will enter the mountain, and the center of the mountain I will hide it. And the fourth one say, I probably go to the market, because a lot of people, they cannot find who to kill. The impermanent will not find nobody, because there's so many people, so crowded. And at the end of 7 days, the one who hide deep bottom of the ocean will what? His body float up. Because nothing stay in the ocean, no dead body stay the bottom of the ocean, right? It's always float up. And the second body come from space, it appear out, it drop out from the space. And the third one is what? Die in the mountain. And the fourth one just pass away in the market. You see that? Even though they have superior powers, magic, stronger, but they cannot get rid of the impermanent. Because this body is impermanent. It doesn't matter how much you try to hang on, you try to rejuvenate, right? That is the law of impermanence. So that's why after this four hermit, they realize that their body is impermanent, even though how strong, how deeply they practice. And they ask this angel, how can we find that something that is not permanent? So he said, there's a awakened Buddha, Kata Buddha. He will teach you how to live with permanent, the true permanent. So this four hermit went to the Buddha and he gave a lesson, practice, and then the enlightenment, they live with their true nature. So there's no more impermanent, right? They will live forever. Live with this awakened nature, Buddha nature, Bodhi nature, that will never die and will never born. You see that? So this is a funny story. Tell us to realize that it doesn't matter how powerful you are. Sooner or later you have to what? You have to pass away by impermanent. It doesn't matter how rich you are, how powerful you are, how strong you are, right? So here he tried to teach us that this body is impermanent. Doesn't matter how much you try to save your body, right? So a person awareness, this body, this phenomenon, this mind is impermanent, then that person can achieve the highest enlightenment. So every day, every night you contemplate this thing impermanent, then you can achieve. You have no suffering, no stress, no anxiety, no fear. Because everything is what? Impermanent. Your stress or your suffering, your anxiety is impermanent too. Today you are happy, tomorrow you are suffering, and suffering come and go, right? So you're able to recognize this suffering, this anxiety, this fear are impermanent too. Doesn't matter how bad day you got, right? It will go away, right? So one of the sutra, we call Nirvana Sutra, said that the highest method to contemplate is the contemplate in impermanent. That is the highest method. So you're able to contemplate the impermanent of this body, this phenomena, and everything around you, right? Nobody, no couple, no husband or wife, or no brother or sister stay forever, right? Sooner or later, ever have to go by themselves, right? So when you come out in this world, you go alone. When you live in this world, you live alone, living alone, right? Nobody will come with you, right? So there's only two things come with you: the karma you create, the good karma, and the bad karma. That will go with you. Mom, dad, money, treasure, or other things you cannot bring with you, right? Doesn't matter how much money you got. When you die, you cannot bring with you, right? Only two things: good karma or bad karma. So that's why we try to do good thing, good deed. So when we pass away, we bring all this good deed to the next stage of life, right? And then we have a better life, happier life. But if you create a lot of bad karma in this life, you also bring this bad karma to your next life. So he said that we have to investigate and understand the term impermanent every day, every night. So one of the monks, one of Zen master, before he go to sleep every night, he write a will because he don't expect when he sleep and he wake up. So he gives the will of everything tonight. He wash his food, he put all the clothes, organize, everything organized. Because when you lie down, you don't expect to wake up next morning, right? So that's just, he contemplates this body is impermanent, right? Even though we live in the moment, that's why we treasure every moment, every second. That's life, right? So when you're able to treasure every moment, every second, every minute, you live with mindfulness. You truly live yourself, right? But if you don't treasure each moment, you let go this moment gone, you will never find it back. Right? Just like you never bathe the same river again. Everything is changing. So right now it's September 19, 2018, you will never find this day again, right? You will never find this day. So the main thing is that we treasure, live each moment, right? If you live each moment, treasure each moment, you will be happy. You will never regret. Most of us, we tend to regret. Most of us, we want the time to fly, month to fly, because we have bad day, bad month, bad year. We want to get rid of this year. But when this year is gone, you will never find it again, right? So the highest method to contemplation is contemplate on this impermanent. Okay, we will stop right here. Do you have any question, comment? Anything that you would like to share about your impermanent? So this week, we practice on impermanent. So every week, we take one subject and contemplate, right? Last time we took contemplate on what? Light and dark, right? Now we contemplate on impermanent. Okay, anybody have any comment, question? Anybody have a hard day here? Difficult days will gone, right? Tough life will be gone, right? Go ahead.
A few weeks ago, somebody brought up a question or comment, was talking about trying to follow the path and plan. And I thought about that, the person had said, and I just, I kind of find that sometimes when I try to plan, at least in the past when I've planned, I try to think that, oh, this is the way I need to go, or this is what I need to do. It leads me astray rather than following the path. And it almost takes more of it seems like more of an intuition to follow. I'm not sure if I have the right word, but rather than planning or thinking about it, I guess using your thinking mind, it seems like it takes some other part of you to lead you down. And I'm not sure what the words are, but I was wondering if you could talk more about how to navigate the path and know whether or not you're following the right path.
So as a Buddhist, we take the 5 precepts. So mainly we put the precept in front as the path. If we break this 5 precepts, or we not break this 5 precepts. And then we use the Eightfold Path: right view, right thinking, right concentration, right concept, right meditation, right wisdom. We use all the Eightfold Path and the 5 precepts. Right. And then that's our guiding. If we break any 5 precepts, we know, and we're in the right precept. And then go back to our mind. Do we have any greed, angry, delusion? If we have those things, then try to let it go. Right. So if you know you're on the right path or the wrong path, is you have to look at your body, speech, and mind. 3 things. Body, did you harm anybody? Right. Speech, did you say something that hurt other people? And mind, are you thinking bad stuff? Angry, frustrated, all that stuff. Right. So that's our guiding. So go back to the Sutra, we talk about the 3 come from the body, 4 from the speech, and 3 come from the mind. Right? So that is our path. That's our guideline. Right? So as a Buddhist, we have the 5 precepts: no killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, no lying, no intoxication. Right? We depend on those guiding to guide us every day. And then the Eightfold Path, and then our body, speech, and mind. Right? So we have to write down. One of the Zen students, when he's about 8 years old, he met the Zen master. And then he said, I'm 8 years old, how do I practice? So he said, go home and buy 2 jars. Right? 1 jar of bean. This one is represent black bean, the other one is white bean. If you think a lot of dog thing, put the black bean inside the jar. If you think a lot of good thing, put the white one in the jar. And then at the end of the month, the day you see, if you have a lot of bad thing, you have to give jar black bean, darkness bean. If you have a lot of white bean, I mean you have a lot of goodness. That's his practice. To guide him, because he's 8 years old. You cannot just show him the way, right? You just show him the basic, how to train his mind. Right? So sometimes we need to do those things. We have to, that's why we have to meditate 2 times a day, 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening. 1 in the morning to reflect back, to see what we need to do today. And 1 after we go to sleep, we reflect back, what have we done? Did we harm anybody? We do anything good? We need to do better tomorrow, right? So this is the guideline. We need to practice, to see every day. Right? Anybody have any suggestion of your practice to Michael? So what's your daily practice, anybody? So that's for us, as the Buddhist monk, we have 250 precepts. And then we observe the 250 precepts. If we break any precept, and after half of the month or 1 month, we recite the precept to see what we did wrong. If we did something wrong, we try to fix it. Right? So we have to depend on 3 things. Giới means precept, định means calm, tuệ means wisdom. Right? Giới định tuệ means precept. Then means calmness, stillness, and to mean your wisdom will arise. So this is our guideline. Anybody have any guideline for your own? Yes, go ahead.
What I think is interesting is sometimes there's different stages of life too that people go through, and sometimes they have to make decisions. Could be anything, even just like changing a job or trying different things out. And it's interesting because I feel like there's a lot of impermanence. Like our whole world can change several times, depending on, what's going on. So, in regards to the impermanence part of it, how do you know, like, when it's time mindfully to let something go?
It depends on you.
Yeah.
If you have enough, just let it go.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have enough, hang on it. Right? It depends on each person. It's like you wear this clothes. Is this too old for me? This old? Time to let go this clothes, go, or I have to hang on it. Right? So it's all depends on you. You have the right. You have the right to pick and choose. Right? It's all depend on you. Just like anger. When we say I don't like anger, if you don't like anger, why you hang on anger? Because you like anger, that's why you hang on it. If you don't like anger, then you let go a long time ago. You don't need to be angry. You don't need to be angry, right? So the same thing. Everything is just inside our hand. Right? Depends on you how to choose, how to let go or not let go. Okay, anybody else? Okay, we recite the animals with that going. Living being or innumerable, I vow to save them all. Reflections are endless, I vow to eradicate them all. The Dharma is not to couple, I vow to study them all. The Buddha ways themselves, I vow to attain. I vow to merit and virtue from these souls everywhere, enrich everyone, so that all of us and all living beings will rise like the Dharma. Okay, thank you. Enjoy your wonderful weeks. It's getting cold.